on a humid summer night in Omaha. A teenage Warren Buffett walked door to door selling bottles of Coca-Cola for a tiny profit. Across the country, a young Sarah Blakely scribbled business ideas in her journal while working a sales job she hated. Neither of them had a fortune or even much certainty. What they did have was something far more powerful, a habit of turning small actions into big opportunities. That's how wealth is built, not by luck, not by one grand event, but by stacking daily decisions the way bricks become a house. A dollar saved, a risk taken, a network nurtured, a skill sharpened. One by one, those habits compound until the person living them looks like a self-made millionaire. The truth is, millionaires don't think like consumers. They think like creators. They aren't chasing the next shiny thing. They're stacking habits that keep building long after the excitement wears off. This video will take you inside that world. Not theory, not motivational fluff. Just 10 powerful habits that real millionaires use, not just to get rich, but to stay rich. Habits you can start today, in small steps, and watch them quietly rewire your future. Every fortune starts in a place you can't see, inside the mind. Picture a young entrepreneur sitting in a small apartment with nothing but a laptop and a head full of ideas. One person looks at their empty bank account and feels defeated. Another sees it as a blank canvas, a chance to create. That difference isn't luck, it's mindset. Millionaires train themselves to see money not as a trophy for status, but as a tool, fuel for freedom, creation, and impact. They know that if your inner game is weak, no amount of outer success will last. This idea isn't new. 2,000 years ago, Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Wealth isn't about how much you accumulate. It's about how you think about what you have and how you choose to use it. The most successful don't chase money as an end in itself. They practice discipline, contentment, and vision. When you win the battle in your mind, controlling your desires instead of letting them control you, you've already built the foundation for everything else. As John Jacob Astor, America's first multi-millionaire, put it, wealth is largely the result of habit. If you imagine a millionaire, maybe you picture Lamborghinis, penthouses, and champagne on tap. But in reality, the wealthy who stay wealthy play a very different game. Their power comes not from showing off money, but from holding it, multiplying it, and letting time work in their favor. Consider Warren Buffett. Despite being one of the richest men alive, he still lives in the same Omaha house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. No sprawling mega mansions, no gold-plated garages. When asked why, Buffett once shrugged, saying his modest home provided him everything I could possibly want. That decision isn't just about humility, it's a philosophy of delayed gratification. By not pouring wealth into status symbols, Buffett had more capital to invest, compounding into billions over decades. In contrast, most actual millionaires drive Toyotas, Fords, and Hondas. They don't need the car to say who they are. Similarly, 73% of millionaires have never carried a credit card balance. That simple act, avoiding interest payments, means their money is always working for them, not against them. Radical frugality doesn't mean living miserably. It means living below your means, no matter how high those means climb. It's the quiet discipline of choosing investments over indulgence, patience over instant gratification. Over 21 days, this habit can be practiced by something as simple as tracking every expense, cutting one unnecessary subscription, or delaying one big purchase until you've doubled its cost in savings. Because the truth is this: flashy spenders look rich. Millionaires stay rich. Relying on a single paycheck is like balancing on one leg. Sooner or later, you'll fall. Millionaires know this, and it's why they build safety nets in the form of multiple income streams. Salary might cover today, but true wealth comes from systems that keep earning even when you're not working. Think of it this way. While most people end their day when they clock out, the wealthy keep their money on the clock 24/7. Real estate investments collect rent while they sleep. Dividend stocks pay out quarterly without lifting a finger. Side businesses, royalties, or digital products spin off extra cash, building resilience against downturns and compounding growth over time. The numbers make it undeniable. In a landmark study by Tom Corley, author of Rich Habits, 65% of self-made millionaires reported having at least 3 income streams before they ever hit millionaire status. This wasn't accidental. It was intentional diversification. When one stream ran dry, 2 more kept flowing. The richest voices echo this truth. Warren Buffett famously warned, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." That's not hyperbole, it's strategy. A millionaire's wealth isn't tied to a single employer or a single product. It's spread across a portfolio of ideas, assets, and ventures. For anyone starting out, this doesn't mean launching 5 businesses at once. It means building one steady income stream, then reinvesting the surplus into a second. Over 21 days, you can start small, freelance a skill, sell a digital product, or put even $50 into a dividend stock. Millionaires know the difference between planting seeds and chasing fireworks. While most people get lured by the thrill of day trading, crypto hype, or the next sure thing, the wealthy quietly stick to boring, proven strategies that let compounding do the heavy lifting. Warren Buffett once explained it this way: "The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. It's patience, not prediction, that makes fortunes." Instead of obsessing over daily price swings, millionaires invest in businesses they understand, assets with real value, and hold them long enough for growth to snowball. The data proves it. A recent NASDAQ study revealed that self-made millionaires typically keep more than 30% of their wealth in stocks, not because they're gamblers, but because they trust the compounding power of equities over decades. They don't dump everything into trendy IPOs. They buy strong companies and let time turn those holdings into wealth machines. Paul Samuelson, the Nobel-winning economist, captured the essence perfectly. Investing should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. This is the habit of true wealth builders. Resist the temptation of quick wins. Anchor yourself in long-term strategies. And remember that speculation is noise, while investing is signal. Over 21 days, you can practice this by tracking your emotions when the market moves. Instead of reacting, remind yourself, wealth isn't built by speed. It's built by staying in the game long enough to let compounding work its quiet magic. Millionaires don't chase the rush. They build the foundation. This is the quiet habit of millionaires. They are obsessed with financial literacy. They read voraciously. They listen to mentors. They question assumptions. And they treat money like a language you have to keep practicing. The evidence backs this up. Research by Thomas Corley found that 88% of millionaires read at least 30 minutes a day for self-improvement. Not for entertainment, not for escape, but to learn. It isn't just books. They attend seminars, listen to financial podcasts, hire coaches, or trade insights with peers. They treat money like an evolving subject, one where yesterday's rules won't always hold tomorrow. That curiosity gives them an edge over the 9-to-5 worker who never updates their financial playbook. The late motivational philosopher Jim Rohn captured this truth in a single line. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Millionaires know that schools rarely teach wealth, but the real classroom is the world, and the syllabus is endless. Over the next 21 days, practice this habit in small steps. Swap 20 minutes of scrolling for 20 minutes of reading a money book, or listen to an investing podcast during your commute. Each page, each conversation, each idea adds a brick to your financial foundation. Wealth doesn't just live in your bank account. It lives in your mind first. Millionaires don't just make money, they protect it. One of the biggest mistakes ordinary earners make is treating all debt the same and ignoring the power of tax strategy. The wealthy, by contrast, see debt and taxes as tools to be managed, not traps to fall into. Take Warren Buffett's view on mortgages. He has called the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage the best instrument in the world. Why? Because it locks in cheap money for decades, while allowing the borrower to use their remaining capital to invest elsewhere. In Buffett's world, a mortgage isn't a burden, it's leverage. The key is using good debt, low-interest loans tied to appreciating assets like real estate, to build wealth while avoiding bad debt, high-interest credit cards and consumer loans that drain cash flow. Entrepreneurs reinvest profits into their businesses, claim legitimate deductions, and structure assets in ways that minimize liability. It's not about cheating the system. It's about understanding it better than most people bother to. And here's the kicker. You don't need to be a billionaire to use these tactics. Any household can benefit from managing debt intentionally, redirecting credit card payments into savings, or automating contributions to retirement accounts. Over 21 days, this habit can start with something as simple as reviewing one expense statement, calling a lender to refinance a high-interest loan, or maxing out a tax-free contribution. As leadership expert John C. Maxwell put it, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. The wealthy don't let money slip away. They give every dollar a job, every debt a purpose, and every tax law a strategy. Wealth doesn't happen by accident. It's mapped out long before it arrives. Millionaires don't just dream about financial freedom. They chart the exact steps to get there. Written goals serve as their compass, turning vague ambitions into concrete roadmaps. The data makes this crystal clear. In one study, 67% of millionaires reported writing down their goals, compared to a tiny fraction of the general population. Writing creates accountability. It transforms someday into this year, and maybe into must. A written plan is a mirror you can't hide from. Bill Gates exemplifies this habit. In Microsoft's early days, he wasn't just coding in a garage. He was drafting detailed milestones for product launches, revenue targets, and growth strategies. Gates himself has admitted that meticulous planning, not just technical brilliance, was the engine of Microsoft's rise. By putting goals on paper and tracking progress relentlessly, he created both focus and momentum. For everyday wealth builders, the practice doesn't have to be complicated. Start by writing down 3 clear financial goals for the next 12 months. Pay off a credit card, save a set amount for investing, or increase income through a side hustle. Break each into milestones. Review them daily for 21 days. You'll be stunned at how this simple act rewires your focus. Millionaires know what they want, and they spell it out. That's why their wealth grows by design, not by default. Millionaires understand a truth that most people overlook. Money flows through people. Deals are struck, partnerships are born, opportunities appear, all through relationships. That's why the wealthy invest as much energy into building their networks as they do into building their portfolios. Think of it this way: your net worth is often a reflection of your net work. The average U.S. millionaire is 61 years old, meaning most didn't get rich overnight. Their wealth is the byproduct of decades of steady work and, just as importantly, decades of consistent relationship building. They nurture long-term connections, share value, and learn from both peers and critics. Bill Gates once said, "Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning." The same applies to your network. It's not just about surrounding yourself with cheerleaders. It's about engaging with people whose struggles, failures, or criticisms can teach you what not to do. Successful people lean into those lessons, turning others' pain into. Consider Richard Branson, who built Virgin Group not just by spotting business opportunities, but by cultivating friendships and alliances that open doors. Or Warren Buffett, who openly admits his partnership with Charlie Munger was one of the most profitable relationships of his life. These examples show that wealth isn't built in isolation, it's grown in circles. For the next 21 days, make this practical. Send one genuine message a day. Thank a mentor. Reconnect with an old colleague, or simply compliment someone's work. Over time, these small gestures snowball into a powerful web of trust and opportunity. Millionaires don't just collect contacts, they cultivate communities. That's how they stay rich and why doors keep opening for them. Ask any self-made millionaire and they'll tell you, wealth means nothing if you're too sick or exhausted to enjoy it. The truly wealthy treat their body and mind as their greatest assets. They know that energy fuels productivity. Focus sharpens decision-making, and resilience keeps them pushing forward when others burn out. The data proves this isn't just talk. 76% of millionaires exercise at least 30 minutes a day, and 93% get 7 or more hours of sleep per night. These habits aren't about vanity. They're about building a foundation strong enough to carry the weight of ambition. This truth isn't new. The ancient Greeks had a phrase for it: mens sana in corpore sano, a healthy mind in a healthy body. From Aristotle to modern psychology, the wisdom is the same. Your physical discipline directly fuels your financial and creative success. Take Jeff Bezos, for instance. He has said his sharpest business decisions happen when he's well rested. His policy? Always get 8 hours of sleep. Elon Musk, despite his chaotic schedule, has publicly admitted that neglecting sleep or health is one of his biggest mistakes. These aren't luxuries, they're necessities. For the next 21 days, commit to one small health upgrade. Walk 20 minutes a day. Swap one processed meal for real food. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Millionaires don't wait for a crisis to start caring for their health. They invest in it daily, knowing that their mind and body are their true engines of wealth. The final and perhaps most overlooked habit of the truly wealthy is generosity. The richest people don't just measure their success in dollars, they measure it in impact. Philanthropy isn't an afterthought. It's a core part of their identity and legacy. According to IRS data, individuals with incomes over $10 million contributed nearly half of all charitable donations in 2022. That's billions of dollars flowing into education, healthcare, the environment, and global development. To the wealthy, giving is not a drain. Bill and Melinda Gates have pledged the majority of their fortune to charitable causes. Warren Buffett has committed 99% of his wealth to philanthropy, famously saying, "If you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. Even younger millionaires like Mr. Beast are redefining philanthropy through creative, viral forms of generosity. The lesson for us is simple. You don't need billions to start giving back. Tiny acts of generosity, mentoring a student, donating a small portion of income, volunteering your skills, compound just like money does. Over time, these actions create ripples that outlast any paycheck. Einstein captured it best. The value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. So here's the big takeaway. Wealth isn't an event, it's a stack of habits. From mastering your financial mindset to exercising discipline, from setting written goals to building strong networks, and from safeguarding your health to giving back, each habit fuels the next. Together, they create an unstoppable cycle of growth, resilience, and abundance. You don't need millions in the bank to start. What you need is consistency. Start with just one habit today. Write down a financial goal. Skip one unnecessary purchase. Read 10 pages of a wealth-building book, or walk for 20 minutes. The outcome doesn't matter as much as the shift in identity. Every time you practice these habits, you stop being just a consumer and start becoming a creator of wealth. Charles Jaffe said it plainly. It's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. That principle applies to all 10 habits. By changing your habits, you can change your life. And remember, millionaires weren't born different. They just built their lives differently, one habit at a time.